What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You watching Ragin Ronin Review. Happy New Year to y'all out there. Happy New Year to the Ragin Nation and everybody out there all over the world. 2014 is gonna be a huge freaking year, especially if you're a big fan of watching movies, because 2014 is just filled with big blockbusters and really exciting, super exciting movies. I'm really excited because not only is Transformers Age of Extinction coming out, but a whole bunch of other movies. So I'm gonna give you my top 10 most highly anticipated films of 2014, with number 10 being a very anticipated film to number 1 being my most anticipated film of 2014. Without any further delay, let's get on with number 10, and that would be X-Men Days of Future Past, directed by Bryan Singer, and they're calling this the Avengers of X-Men. And what they probably mean by that is that, you know how Avengers, everybody came together in one big movie? Well, X-Men Days of Future Past is that. They're bringing all the big players on board. They're calling up everybody from First Class, from 1, 2, and 3, and putting them all together in this big movie. And it's also pretty exciting to have Bryan Singer back. And what makes X-Men Days of Future Past even more anticipated is because he also tweeted that there's another one coming, so that's X-Men Apocalypse. And just from that alone, it just makes me feel like we're seeing half of the big epic picture, alright? So that's number 10. Number 9 is The Raid to Barandal, which means The Raid to Retaliation, and this is the sequel to The Raid Redemption, rather, directed by Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans is back to direct The Raid 2, and it takes place 2 hours where they left off from the original. And you know it's gonna be even crazier. What people love the most about The Raid Redemption, rather, is that the fights were freaking ridiculous. They were so much fun to watch, very well choreographed, very hard-hitting, brutal, and just really, really entertaining. So I can't wait for The Raid to Barandal, and it's gonna rock your socks off, alright? Number 8 would be Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Matt Reeves. I really enjoyed Rise of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Rupert Wyatt, and I couldn't wait for the sequel because I want to know what happens next. I want to know about the events before the original Planet of the Apes, and Matt Reeves is going to take us on that journey. And it's supposed to happen 10 years after the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and a new cast is there. Jason Clarke will be the lead role, will play the lead role, and that's super exciting for me because I like Jason Clarke, and I think he'll be a lot of fun to watch in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Moving on, we got number 7, and that would be Godzilla. Godzilla is going to be done justice from director Gareth Edwards, who's a big fan of Godzilla, you know, from Japan. And I saw the teaser trailer and the trailer after that, and oh boy, it looks like, man, Godzilla is going to cause a lot of destruction. And it's also exciting to know that it's filmed in my own city, alright? It's filmed in Vancouver, also on Vancouver Island and other parts of BC. So there's going to be a lot of local scenery, which I'm really excited to watch, to see on the big screen, alright? Moving on, number 6 is The Hobbit, There and Back Again. I like The Hobbit, you know, An Unexpected Journey. I like The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, even more because it was more action-packed, and I'm excited to watch There and Back Again, the final installment in this trilogy, because I want to see how the movie ends, and I want to see, you know, even more Smaug in it, because Smaug was represented so awesomely, if that's even a word, in The Desolation, and man, it looks like the third one's going to be even more fantastic. So really excited about that. Number 5 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. While I did enjoy Captain America: The First Avenger, but I didn't enjoy it the same way like I enjoyed the other ones. And I think a huge part of that had to do with the fact that it just took place in a different time. All right, it took place during like you know, it's a period piece, right? But then the fact that they're bringing it to the you know, modern day, it makes me more excited. He's taking on a new villain, and the fact that they're bringing guys like Nick Fury and Black Widow, that really makes me excited because it really ties it in directly with the Avengers. Iron Man 3 and Thor 2 felt really disconnected from the Avengers, even though they say that it happens after the events. But Captain America: The Winter Soldier feels very, very connected to it, so I want to see what happens next, alright? So that's number 5. Number 4 is The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Catching Fire just blew my mind. Super exciting. I even wanted to watch it twice, okay? But I didn't end up going. But still, it's a movie that I wouldn't have minded watching twice in IMAX. And I love Francis Lawrence's direction, and it looks like he's back again for for the next installment. And Mockingjay Part 1 is going to be great because I really want to know how the story goes. You know, without reading the books, I want to get the cinematic feel of the complete movie, and I can't wait to watch it coming later on this year. Number 3 is Interstellar, directed by Christopher Nolan. This time, not a sequel, not something that's based off of anything. You know, it's crazy. All these movies in my top 10 list are all based off of something or is a sequel. All right? But Interstellar is the only movie that isn't a sequel, and I'm just excited to watch what Christopher Nolan comes out with next. He's just such a great visionary director. He's a great storyteller, and anything he makes, directs, will be something that I will be excited to watch. He's already proved himself with the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception, and a lot of his smaller movies. I gotta tell you that anything that this guy puts out, you know what? We're filling the theater seats, all right? Number 2 is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I love this series. I love the franchise. I love where it's going. I like what Mark Webb is doing with the character and Andrew Garfield's representation of Peter Parker, and of course the Spider-Man himself. And while they are bringing in a lot of different villains, I just like the whole new direction. I love the concept of the Spider-Man hero, the character himself, but I want to see where it goes because, you know, the Sam Raimi version was all about, you know, avenging the father, right? I mean, avenging his uncle. But this one is a completely different story. It's about discovering what his father is all about and searching about the mystery of his father. So I want to see where that goes. And I also want to see big villains, classic villains like Electro and Rhino and Green Goblin. I want to see what the new take on these guys are. So very exciting, and that's number 2. Number 1 is, of course, you guys already know what this is. I've been talking about this movie for a year, okay, more than a year, and that is Transformers: Age of Extinction, directed by Michael Bay. Say whatever you want about the Transformers sequels, but you cannot deny that this one looks even more exciting than the second and the third one, mainly because we've been getting so much behind-the-scenes footage from just people filming it, the scenes in Hong Kong, the addition of all new characters, all new cars, and of course Dinobots, something we've wanted since the second movie. We never got in the second movie, never got in the third movie, but now we're getting it this time. And Michael Bay answered the call of the fans, and we are getting Grimlock and his team. Very exciting stuff, and that's all I gotta say. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 10, what's your top 5, or what's your top 3. Whatever your highly and most anticipated films are of 2014. There you have it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Property is gonna have some sort of connection with either Justice League or Batman vs. Superman. Okay, as you already know, they're putting in one